Who am I? Will you go every other night, trying to forget me when I can't forget you?
Hey everyone,
You
good
can
afternoon
hide
and welcome back again
beautiful
to the
story.
Academy Bite Size session. And for today, I'm going to become the moderator of this session. And then not forget to mention that we're going to have a special guest from Indonesia, which is Joshua, the UX researcher from Indonesia. And he will talk a lot about the foundations of UX research and then some do's and don'ts when you ask questions, and then some methods and also some examples on the right way to do it. But then before we touch into that topic, like we go deeper, it's gonna be fun if we ask like some fun facts questions about Joshua first. But before we go into that, um, can you just like give us the short introduction about yourself, Joshua, please?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Joshua, and I'm a UX researcher for Aleph. I'm I'm from Indonesia. Uh, I think you can tell from my face, it's Indonesian. And what other introduction do you need?
Anything like tell us maybe a little bit about your job
Okay.
or yeah, your hobby.
Okay. I really like coffee and reading books. So yeah, I think that will tell you how introvert I am. Well, for the workout, I only like running. So I think there's also some people in Aleph who like running, and we should do running session together.
Okay, well noted. But then, fun fact, guys, before Joshua is becoming the UX researcher, he was an HR, like so same like me, right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, and then okay, Joshua. So I'm going to ask you like some questions about yourself, so we get to
Okay.
know deeper about you. So the first question is because I know you like to read. I mean, I saw a lot of like screenshot of books in your Insta.
Yeah.
So the first question is, what is the most interesting thing that you have read or seen this week? Yeah, this week, I guess.
This week.
Yeah.
Okay, so probably it was from a magazine. Actually, I read magazine quite a lot. This week I read Monocle magazine, and it talks a lot about Austria, the
Mhm.
country Austria, and it's just amazing to know that that small country, but also able to develop such a sustainability. And the most thing that interests me is about Swarovski, the jewelry thing. Well, I don't wear any jewelry, but probably for my girlfriend or wife later on. Well, I just found out that that company is from Austria,
Mhm.
and there's photograph in the magazine. It's really beautiful. So guys, if you want to travel after COVID, I think visiting Austria might be a good one. Travel tips 101.
Okay. So for Joshua's girlfriend, if you watch this, you're the lucky one because yeah, he's going to give you like Swarovski.
Amen to that.
Okay. And then the next question is, what was the first job you wanted when you were a little kid?
Oh, it's actually an architect.
Architect. Okay, why?
Yeah, because
Architect.
I want to build big homes, like with seven with huge garage, which can store 7 cars at least. Because yeah, back then when I was a kid, I want to have like, okay, I want to have one Lamborghini, one Ferrari, one BMW, one Audi, all that kind of stuff as a kid that you dream of, because you watch that James Bond movie and all that action movie, and you think, oh, that car looks very cool. That's why I want to be an architect.
Okay, makes sense. But then now you are UX researcher.
Yeah.
You have time. You still have time to pivot your career after this, maybe. Okay, last question. Okay, once pandemic ends, Who are
Okay.
the Alephians that you would ask to like hang out together with you?
Okay. I think the first one, obviously, the research team.
Mhm.
So in Indonesia, we have Rinaldi and Nadine. Well, Ian used to be here in Indonesia, but he
He's in Malaysia. Yeah.
betrayed us. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He moved back. He chose Malaysia over the Indonesia team. Well, yeah, the research team for the first priority, I think, because we have worked together for quite some time, but have not really met each other.
Okay. 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 I think for the fun fact is enough. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit know deeper about you, Joshua.
Thank you,
So
thank you.
yeah, for the next session, let's go into the content. And yeah, I will give the stage to you. Hand it over to you, Joshua.
Okay, thank you so much, Angela. So now I'm going to share my screen first. Okay, do you see my screen?
Yep, clear. Yeah.
Okay, okay, hello everyone. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share something about UX research. So thank you, first of all, Aleph Academy for arranging this whole thing. And today we are going to talk about the foundation of UX research. So this will be like a very, very basic one, not an intermediate or even expert one. And please note that this is not a formal class. I don't have, like that kind of teacher vibe. No, no, no. So before I highlight things, I present things. I just want to I just want you to understand that feel free to jump in the comment and give feedback and interact with us. So before I begin, I would also like to address why I bring this topic, right? Because I think uh, as a company, when we are in a company, especially growing company, I think there will be times when the number of researchers within the company will not be enough to conduct all the research projects. And when this happens, I think we have three options. The first one is to hire more researchers. That's the obvious thing. But yeah, well, I'm coming from HR too, and I know that recruitment is not the easiest thing to do because there's cultural fit and all that. So we move to the second option, which is we do screening on the project, and we put priority. We we do the one that is high in priority and let the other project wait. But the problem with this is that there are times when we just have to do it, right? Therefore we move to the third and last option, which is to develop more researchers internally. So later on, well, designers, developers, or even other departments can help with the research project. Sure, this will not be the ideal, but at least it will get the job done. Okay, and another reason, because when I joined the team, when I learned UX research, I found that this knowledge of research can also be implemented into our daily life. So let's say whenever we talk to our friends and family, we can use the stuff we learn from UX research. Okay, and now without further ado, let's move to the first. What is UX research? Obviously, we want to know what is a user experience research. For the definition, UX research is a systematic study. So it's systematic, not just, random stuff. Systematic study of target users and their requirements. And the purpose is to add realistic context and insights to design processes. By doing UX research, this will help us as product owners, developers, designers to place people at the center of the design process and or products. We can use user research to inspire our design, to evaluate our solution, and to measure our impact. And what kind of research. What is the type of research that exists? So there are two type of research methods we can use. The first one is quantitative. Quantitative seeks to measure user behavior in a way that can be quantified and used for statistical analysis. So for example, the obvious one is survey. So let's say for marketing, they often use a survey, right, to really look into the numbers. But there's also the qualitative method, which are more exploratory and seek to get an in-depth understanding of the experiences of everyday lives. So, for example, interview. Whenever we interview, we won't interview like 100 people, right? Usually we just interview probably 5, maximum 10 or 12 people. So the number is not that many, but we get a deeper insight. And usually, when talking about UX researchers, they are known for the qualitative research. So that's what we are going to talk about today. We're going to talk a lot about qualitative research and, to be very specific, in-depth interview. Okay, and now why we have to do UX research? Probably some of you will want to know, like, okay, is it that important? So I'm gonna share 3 points on why it is important to do UX research. The first one is relevant design. The second, pleasurable design. And the third, understand the ROI, return on investment, from the UX design. We're going to start from the first one. Okay, why it is important? So in order to create a relevant design, we need to do UX research. Well, have you ever, buy a product or find a product that you don't really use in your daily life? That's because the product is not relevant to you, right? So whenever we want to design something, whenever we want to develop a product, we have to be sure that we truly meets our users' needs. If we cannot meet that needs, then there's a high possibility that our product will not, users will not use our product. Well, I have this like a statistic. According to Nielsen, 85% of consumer packaged goods, CPG, fail in the market. And yeah, we know the statistic that most startups fail within the 2 years, 5 years, and so on. According to US Small Business Administration, a third of new companies fail within the first 2 years. Can you imagine just 2 years after the company launch, it failed because this thing, the product cannot meet users' need. But we also need to create the second one, which is pleasurable design. Although, well, we know that aesthetics is not the most important thing. There's obviously certain product that we use not because of the aesthetic or the experience, but imagine this: in the world where, product can be easily copied by another competitors, what truly make our products, our designs, different with the competitor is the experience, right? The experience, competitors cannot easily copy experience. That is why after we have made relevant design, we also want to make the design pleasurable to use. Therefore, the users will have this kind of satisfaction, and it will lead to, the users going to our products again and again and again. And for the last, obviously, especially for the stakeholders, for the investors, they want to know whether the design have a return on investment. That's also why we need to conduct UX research, because crafting the design, we can only see the consequences after the product has been released. That is why after the product has been released, we also need to do UX research. And now we are going to move to the timing, when to do a UX research. There are 3 stages during product development cycle. Okay, so the first one is ideation. The purpose in ideation, obviously, to find the problems or pain points. And in this stage, usually the research will be in-depth interview. And then the second development stage is development. So after we have, come up with a problem, we want to develop a product or a design that solve that problem. So the aims to test the research in this stage aims to test the solution or product that we have created. Often we will use usability testing, or you may know it as UT. And the last stage is release. The purpose of research when we conduct the research after it has been released is to understand the ROI, and usually it will use quantitative method like comparison from the churn rate and stuff like that. So we can conclude that user research can be conducted during all development stages, but the difference is in the purpose of the research. Okay, and now the most exciting one is the how, right? After we know, okay, what is UX research, and okay, we know that it is important, and we know also when to conduct user research. We want to know how to do the UX research. I'm not going, too crazy with the how to do. I'm just going for the simple one so everybody here can implement that during our time in work. So there are three ways on how to do it. The first step is to plan. Obviously, we want to plan anything. We want to plan everything so that it will go directly according to our plan. And then there's the conducting part. And last but not least is the discovering insights part. We're going to talk about the planning first. So these are the points of what needs to be prepared. The first one, we have to have the research objective. Research objective means what question we want to answer. So what answer are we seeking through the research? And then there's the target participants, interview location. Although, well, during COVID, mostly interview will be done through online thing, Zoom, Google Meet. And then the interview script, what kind of research methods we will use. And then the timeline, obviously for the stakeholders, the product owners, they want to know the timeline so they can fit that timeline into their product development and all that. And also equipments. And last but not least, consent and NDA. NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. If we plan to test a product that is, still a secret, the company will not want to, the product to be released or to be leaked, then we will need the participant to sign an NDA, but that's occasional. The most important thing is the consent. So the participant is willingly to join the research. And now after planning, this is just a short example, okay? So let's say we have ABC workout app. ABC is a sports brand, and recently they are looking to launch an app dedicated to working out. Okay, so let's say the objective is this: understand the behavior of users when doing workout and also the business opportunities. And for the method, in-depth interviews and also observations, because we want to see how they do their workout. And for the participants, we will just need 5 until 7 youths. That's their target market. And there's also the age gap. We want to make sure it is on that age. And then the location. Well, of course, we will conduct it online. And for the observation, we will need the participant to record a video when they are working out. And so the equipment, sorry, it should be equipment. The equipment we have to use is a laptop or smartphone for the interview. But also for the participant, we need to tell them that they will need a video recorder, any kind of video recorder. Even their phone is also acceptable. And last, for the timeline, we will, just make a simple timeline. This is the planning. So we can give this kind of planning to the stakeholder, so at least they can understand what are we going to do. Okay, and next, conducting user interview. For conducting, there are three parts whenever we do an interview. The first one is the beginning, and the purpose is to make the participants feel comfortable and to build rapport. So yeah, obviously we want to, introduce ourselves, get to know them a little bit, just 5 minutes. And then we're going to the middle, which is the main goal is to find the answers to the research questions. So let's say for the ABC working out, we will have questions about their workout routine and their motivation whenever they do workout. And if they do not work out, what is the reason and stuff like that. And at the end, we want to wrap up the conversation, which include, conclusion question, and also this is very important that we thank the participant for their time. And now we're going to have a quiz. Okay, so this is a quiz about question, so research question. I hope you guys don't mind to go to menti.com on your browser or mobile and enter the code. We will have a quiz. So this is about asking the right question. Okay, so one of the most important thing whenever we do interview, of course, is the question, right? We want to make sure that we ask the right question. Oh, so can we ask the wrong question? Yes, there's certain question that, just we cannot ask that to the interviewee. And now we're going to have a quiz, just a little quiz. Okay, are you guys ready? I will open this Menti. Oh, okay, there are some of you who have joined. I think I'll wait for another minute. Okay, shall we begin? Oops, there's still people coming. Okay, there's a lot of emoji right now. Okay, let us start. Okay, which one is the better question? So please choose. The first, do you have any problems with your boss? And the second, how is your relationship with your boss? Please answer the question on your device. Time's up. Okay, there's 18 people on how is your relationship with your boss. And that's correct. Wow, you guys are good. I think many of you can do the user research after this. Okay, we're moving to the next question. Ready? Okay, the first, what do you think about the product selection? And then the second, how was your shopping experience and did you find anything to buy? Oh, okay.
Interrupt. Yeah.
Okay.
You're showing the right screen because we cannot see the Menti screen.
Okay, can you see it now? Sorry.
No. Can you maybe start to present again?
Okay. I'll stop present first and then I'll try to. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, can you see the screen?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, good.
Oh, okay. So there's 7 people who answer it correctly. What do you think about the product selection? And there's 13 people who answer how was your shopping experience and did you find anything to buy? Okay, so we're going to talk about this first before we continue with the quiz. So don't worry, we still have another 2 questions. But first, let me explain a bit about question. Okay. Okay, so when we conduct an interview, there's some questions that we should not ask. What kind of question is that? The first is a leading question. This is a type of question that will lead the answer toward a particular direction. So the answer will not be valid, will not be objective, because they may not be what the interviewee actually thinks or feels. For example, when we ask, you like this chocolate bar, don't you? The participant will feel like, okay, I have to like this chocolate bar because that's the way the interview asked the question. So to rephrase it, we can ask, what do you think about the chocolate bar? So the interviewee will feel free to answer anything related to the chocolate bar. And then the second is loaded question. Loaded questions contain assumptions regarding the interviewee's perception or behavior. This is different from follow-up questions, which the interviewee has already given their answer. Okay, okay. Sorry, guys. I think I'm going to share my screen again. Sorry, I cannot find my keynote. Okay. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Okay. And the second loaded question, okay? So loaded question contain assumptions regarding the interviewee's perception or behavior. For example, when we ask participant, what kind of coffee do you like? This has an assumption that the interviewee likes to drink coffee. Therefore, it is a loaded question. Well, it will be different if on the first place, the interviewee has already, let's say we are having a conversation and the participants say, oh yeah, I like coffee. And then we can ask, okay, what kind of coffee do you like? But whenever the participant has not, answered anything related to coffee, we cannot assume that the participant like to drink coffee. The third, is a double-barreled question. This means asking 2 questions at the same time. For example, when do you start subscribing to Spotify and why? So the participant will need to answer the when and the why. Well, this is not a really effective question, and it is better to just split it up. So first we ask okay, when do you start subscribing to Spotify? After the user has answered that, we begin to ask, okay, why do you subscribe to Spotify? Also, the next is about double negatives. This occurs when there's 2 negatives in the same sentence. For example, was the app not hard to use? Not hard. I think we can just, replace it with, okay, was the app easy enough to use? And for the last is about jargon. Jargon is a word or phrase that is not commonly used by the general population. For example, we can ask, how was the experience when you purchased the product through PDP? Well, for some people, they may not know what is a PDP. Well, actually, PDP is a product detail page. So it is better to rephrase the PDP with, okay, the page which display the detail of the product. Okay, I think we have learned about the question, and now we will back to the quiz. Okay, I'm gonna move to my Menti screen again. Okay. Okay, we're going to answer another question, and I hope all of you will get the right answer after this. Okay. Please wait a second. I don't know how to continue. Okay. Okay. So have you guys joined the Menti? We will resume the quiz. We're going to start now. Okay. Okay, which one is the better question? How was your experience with our product? And then how satisfied are you with our product? Which one is a better question? Okay, time's up. Okay, 18 of you answered correctly. How was your experience with our product? Okay, and now I'll, just brief a little bit why the how satisfied are you with our product is the wrong question. Because it contains assumption that the user satisfied with the product. Okay, so it's better to ask, okay, how was your experience? Okay, the last question. Which one is a better question? The first one, which one do you think is better, Apple or Samsung? And then the second, why do you think Apple is better than Samsung? 5 seconds left. Okay, time's up. Okay, 11 people got it correctly. Yes, which one do you think is better? Because it does not contain any assumption, while on the second question, why do you think Apple is better than Samsung? There's this assumption that Apple is better than Samsung. Okay, I will move back to the presentation. And now last, we're going to talk about discovering. Okay, usually to discover insight, we will have to, do thematic analysis. There are 5 steps, but I don't want to, use this step to guide you to the thematic analysis. You can find it even in Wikipedia if you want to learn about thematic analysis. But I just want to, make it simple and easy for all of us. So I'm going to summarize this into 3 steps, just 3 steps. The first one is to categorize. The second is to find connection. And the last, obviously, we want to report. So I'm going to explain a little bit on those 3. First, about categorize. It is quite simple, so you just need to put the same information into a category. The amount of category you will have will depend on the depth of the interview. The longer and deeper the interview, probably the more categories you will have. Well, you can do it, we usually do it through Miro board. It's an app called Miro, but you can also do it through Excel or even sticky notes if you're working offline. I'm going to give you an example. For example, let's say for the ABC workout app, you can categorize the information, for example, into user profile, motivation, failure, pre-workout, during workout, and post-workout. Okay, and then the next is about find connection. In this step, we want to look into each and every category to find the silver lining, the link. The connection can be found inside the category or even between categories. This is an iterative process. So during finding connection, you may end up going back to categorize, which is obviously okay. And for example, in the ABC Workout app, we found that the participants do not work out. Well, if they don't work out, it's not because they lack motivation, but because they often cannot find the time. They are career driven, not married. Therefore, they often work beyond the normal working hour to pursue their career. But we also found that during the workout, usually it will just take 10 to 20 minutes roughly to do the workout. So through this kind of information, we can see that, okay, the workout itself does not require a lot of time. This can give us an inspiration, especially for the app. For example, we can create an app not just for workout, but also can be integrated with the calendar that they have with their screen time probably, and therefore sending them a reminder based on their schedule. And last, for the report, yeah, basically we just need to present what we have found during the research. And the most important thing when we report, in my opinion, is to deliver the insights in a way that is engaging and understandable. Okay, for the understandable, I think there will be no doubt about that. But why do we need to be engaging? Because probably the stakeholder or the investor may not be present when we do the interview. So they do not really know what the user said. And it is our job to represent that voice, that user's voice. Okay, so I think we've covered a lot in this session. So yeah, the what, the why, the when, and the how. I hope after this, we all can be a user researcher. And now I think we will move to the Q&A session. Thank you very much for your attention. And Angela, I'll give it back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Joshua, for sharing the tips and trick. And I do have to agree that those questions that you gave in the quiz session are really tricky. Like it was
Yeah.
yeah, like people are confused to choose which one. But then yeah, thanks for the insights. And then let's continue to the Q&A session. I do have two questions on the floor. The first
Okay.
one is actually it's more about your experience. Okay,
Okay.
what would you consider as one of the most difficult challenges you've had as a researcher?
Okay. I guess there's actually two, not one.
Yeah.
So the first one, whenever I have a very talkative participant, because let's say I ask one question and he or she will answer like 5 to 10 minutes. That's just one question. So I have to stop it in a manner, yeah, I have to, be thoughtful about the time, but also how the participants are feeling. But there's also time consideration. It's just awful. And then the second is when I personally encounter a very, very quiet participant, because I have to ask again and again to make them share what they think, what they feel, because I think some people do not used to share what they feel or think. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the two, I think, the most difficult thing in being UX researcher.
Okay, there was actually the question from Andy. So Andy, I hope
Oh,
the
okay.
So I answer it. Yeah. Okay. And then the next one is gonna be from Ian.
Okay.
What are some challenges that you have to face when you are conducting the UX research remotely? Is there any like
Oh yeah.
funny and worst moment when you're doing it?
Yeah. For doing the UX research remotely, I think it's very difficult. I mean, well, I think I have to give a context that in Indonesia, there are many people who do not have access to internet, a good connection. So the main problem for me is the internet connection. Whenever we do a video call, whenever we give the prototype, they even sometimes cannot open the prototype because of their bad internet connection. So yeah, I don't know what to do about that, honestly. So I just hope that Indonesia, as time goes by, will be better, especially in terms of the internet connectivity.
Okay, so it's all about bad connection.
Yeah, bad connection. Oh my
Indonesia,
god.
that's a real
Yeah,
thing. I have to agree on that.
yeah.
Okay, yep. I think, guys, those two questions is already a wrap up session about today. I can still see like some questions on the floor, but then don't worry because Joshua will cover it up in the next article that he's going to write. Yeah,
Sure
related
thing.
to today's session. Okay, so maybe a little bit of information about the next academic session. It will happen on the 27th November, the next Friday, and it's going to be hosted by Tirza, the UI UX designer from Indonesia as well. So stay tuned for more information, and thank you so much for watching us. Okay, have a nice midweek, and thank you so much, Joshua, for sharing.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Everyone, have a nice day. Bye bye. See you guys.
Bye.